morning, and the first thing I want to say is that I'm basically rushing this white cedar bow that's sinew backed. If this was a power layer of sinew that I put on here, actually contributing, let's say greatly, because this thin layer is going to contribute, but contributing greatly to the tensile strength of the back, and also acting as an energy storage, say, layer, rather than just a protective layer like this very thin elk sinew layer is, then I would have to really sit back and be patient and let it age and cure for, 2 months. Really 2 months. In moderate conditions, like in Michigan, it's kind of average humidity, kind of average temperature. But because this is just a protective layer, and I'm itching to do a video on it because you've been very patient waiting so long, I am tillering it now. It's only been, I think, sinew backed week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at the most, which is minimal, absolutely minimal, to start putting a bend in it. Because of, as I stated earlier, that when you have a sinew layer that's not cured all the way and you start putting pressure on it, you're actually going to stunt the growth of this power layer of sinew. Because I'm stretching it, I'm horsing it around, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why not? This isn't going to be a super power bow. 30 pounds. I did pull it back to beyond 30 pounds, so it is going to be a 30-pound bow. And right now, hopefully I'm going to show it like the texture of the sinew. Texture of the elk sinew. I didn't wrap it. I didn't really go to any great lengths to make it smooth. This is just a primordial sinew layer. What else was I going to say? Oh, the tips. I mentioned that I was going to do little, you can do little like wedges of anything, wood, bone, antler, whatever, to keep the string from sliding. But when you look at these tips, see how it steeply changes from like a needle to wide? That string doesn't want to like pull, so I don't need to do anything to this. I don't need to have string grooves. I don't need to put wedges in here. Those tips, for all practical purposes, are done. Now I could go on and put wedges of antler there, but it's going to add weight and slow the cast down a little bit. So I'm figuring I'm going to keep it simple. If I don't need to do it, I'm not going to. Now this, if you have my book, some people have bought my book and you're working through the project bows, tillering this is pretty much the same as that D-bow. And what you want to keep in mind when you're tillering it is I like to work from the tips or kind of midway and work my way in. I don't want to work from the handle out, because if you have bend in here, too much bend, which is any bend really while you're tillering it, and you're working out towards the tips, you're going to get some string follow in here. You're going to get a permanent bend in the handle, and this is the worst spot to have a permanent bend, because let's say you have 5 degrees of bend. Let's go all geometrical here. 5 degrees of permanent bend here. It amplifies it because of these levers, so you're going to wind up having a lot of string follow. If, on the other hand, you have the string follow on the tips, you're not going to have a lot of distance between your handle in here because those big levers aren't magnifying the string follow. And so I always work from kind of out in when I'm tillering it. And what I'm doing, because this is white cedar and you can barely, or basically move it, change the tiller by screaming at it, I'm sanding. You can see that, if I stand back, it's not perfection, but this is a primordial bow. This is definitely, working. This is a good way to do it. Sight down the limb, and I see a nice bend through here. Ooh, that's nice. And I look down the other side, and it's like, ooh, I've got a nice consistent bend through there. Through the handle, this is a true D-bow. It has as much bend through here as anywhere. There's a little more bend in this section, but, whatever, this is my bow. And so, I can say it's good enough. This is good enough tiller. Now, of course, I don't have it braced all the way. I'm going to brace it, probably about 6 inches. I can do it because it's a long bow, but this is kind of the process of tillering, and I'm not going to horse it all the way because I'm going to get it even, and then I'm just going to unstring it and let it sit in the sun. And think about being a bow for the next month before I really actually start, using it as a bow. Pulling it back all the way, 28 inches. This is highly crowned. If this wasn't sinew bagged, a highly crowned, which means it's very round here, very high in the center, and that height, that strip along the center is going to have the brunt of the tensile strength or forces in there. If this wasn't sinew bagged, that would be a problem having this white cedar bow crowned like this. But with the sinew, what this does is gives a little bit more oomph. If you have it highly crowned, sinew bagged, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now, on the belly side, because this is about the weakest wood in compression possible, I'm going to have a flat belly. I want to have all those forces distributed. I don't want to have a ridge down the center where I'm going to get creisels, which are like these lines that are perpendicular to the length of the bow that foretell. I love the use of the English language, Inglés. They foretell compression failure. If you start seeing these lines forming in here, not a good thing. Some people will sand them down, but all you're doing is then thinning it out and adding to your issue. 30 pounds. I pulled it back to 30 pounds. It's going to have a moderate bend radius, which just means, the amount of bend through it, because it's a long bow. It's not going to overdo it to have a 27, 28 inch draw. It'll be a nice bow. Now, sinew string, it doesn't look super neat like, a commercially made, or if you make them, a Flemish twist string with 2 loops. But I kind of like that. It's just, I tied it off there and then took the extra length, wrapped it around and kind of wrapped it underneath itself to secure it. And you might ask, why do I have an extra long string on this? Well, the thing is that this string just very well may outlive this bow. And so I make it long for a longer bow. It's no big deal to tie it off there. Oh, funny you should ask. Oh, look at this. Because I'm going to force telescopes on you. I'm going to preach telescopes because they're so great. I'm a little addled this morning because what happened is he had about a half moon up there, so I'm out with my telescope, the mighty Tasco that's been, gosh, I'm so tired, hot rodded with a different focusing mechanism so I can have nice quality 1¼ eyepieces, collimated, clean the mirrors. This 80s vintage Tasco has beautiful mirrors so that the views of Jupiter and Saturn and all the other things are very good through this. You should get a telescope. You don't need to have a fancy mount like this, equatorial. You can have a sit and spin, a Dobsonian mount. But I would suggest, because you're asking, oh yeah, some of you are asking, what is the minimum size of a telescope that's going to give you great satisfaction? And I'm going to claim that you should get a reflector. It's cheaper to make a mirror than nice Apple lenses for hair. That's a term, don't even worry about it. It's cheaper to make a mirror than lenses. And so you get bang for your buck. I would say the minimum size would be 114 millimeters or 4½ inches. 4½ inches. That'll give you good views of, like I saw, Jupiter and the moon last night, and some globular clusters, one in Hercules, and other interesting things. And then I woke up early this morning and saw Saturn. And this allows me to see Saturn, a good division between the rings and the body of the planet. Now, I have actually purchased some things that are coming in here. A solar filter that clips over the front of this so I can view the sun during the day, so it's not going to be just a nightly thing. I have good lenses here, and I just ordered a good Barlow lens. And what a Barlow lens is, it just clips in there, just stick it in there, stick your eyepiece in the Barlow lens, and this increases the focal length, which I have it 2 times. So this right here, this eyepiece gives me like a 40-something magnification. I ordered it 2 times Barlow, so when I plug this in, it's twice that. What did I just say, 40? So it's going to be 80. And then I'm pushing the limits of magnification. I've got another one down here. It's going to be 180 times for viewing planets and the moon. And so I'm going to leave it at that. I just painted these things silver today because they tighten, and it doesn't make sense to have black ones because at night it's hard to find them. Aside from that, thank you for watching, and you know, the never-ending quest to describe a cedar bow. This is white cedar, not juniper, so it doesn't have the compression strength. So I have to limit it to 30 pounds, make it longer. Love that Sinew backing. Hope you can see it. Why am I using my old Straight Talk phone? Is that I've made some videos. I've made videos for you, bow videos with my shiny new Samsung S8. But the darn thing is, I haven't been able to download it. It's either the files are too big because it has such great resolution, or my computer is stupid, or I'm just not doing it right, or all three. I vote for all three. So I'm still working on being able to edit and do build-along videos with my Samsung. And with that, I'm going to say adieu. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a great audience, and I hope that wherever you are, it's a beautiful day like it is here. Oh man, gorgeous day, and it's going to be clear tonight, so I can get out and do some more of this. Have a great day.